Hello. Welcome into the PHNX Rising podcast. Appreciate all of y'all joining us here on this fine Tuesday. It's a bit of a lifting Tuesday. It's almost like Phoenix Rising won on Sunday.
They did.
And it's almost like a certain team lost on Sunday.
Yeah, they did.
Which means some team doesn't exist anymore.
I was going to say we'd do this subtly, but Max doesn't do subtle.
No, I'm not subtle. No, in all seriousness, it was a hell of a match by the Phoenix Rising. Yeah, PL, yes, slightly looking at the tie. Owen, why are we wearing ties?
I don't know. There's black ties. What would you wear a black tie for, Max?
For a nice steak dinner.
What else would you wear a black tie for, Max?
Formal happy hour.
What else would you wear a black tie for, Max?
Weddings.
If you have any idea why you would wear a black tie, hop it in the chat. Let us know. Why would you wear a black tie?
Let us know. Let us know. It is a black tie fair. Last one to know.
I was in the hotel, Michael, to answer your question.
I was
it
the
was
last
in the hotel.
one you thought I'd see there. But I saw the fear in his eyes when I took that glass of champagne. And I said, you, honey, we may be through, but you'll never hear me complain. Cause I got friends in low places where the
There's
whiskey
low in the ground,
drowns
like in a
and
hole
the
in the
beer
ground.
places
in
my drools away.
I'm
butchering everything. Here we go.
You can mark with a gravestone.
Yeah, it could
maybe?
be. It could
I
be.
don't know.
It could be. It could be. It's almost like it's when it's we can see the that image in this room. Dare people say.
That's also a wedding song you goof, says Michael.
That what I just sung?
That's what Michael said.
I mean, it is, but like if you kind of listen to it, it's about someone crashing a wedding and then drinking at their ex's wedding and like kind of destroying it. So it's like an anti-wedding song, if we're being honest. But hey, this is kind of like this show's wedding because it's a high point, right? It's a high point, feeling good. I don't know how that transition was, but Phoenix
the
Rising.
High Point podcast.
No, stop. Phoenix Rising, right? With honestly, we'll call it what it is. This was a match. This is a playoff match for the ages.
Oh, yeah.
And we're talking not just Phoenix Rising's perspective. We're talking if you like knockout competition football, if you like 7 goals type of football, if you like hair-raising, being on the edge of your seat for 120 minutes. You're not even on the edge of your seat because you're standing the whole damn time. If you're on the edge of your seat or standing for 120 minutes, a last-minute equalizer and then a last-minute winner in extra time, this was a hell of a match.
Oh, yeah, it was, yeah. Yeah. No, it was phenomenal, right?
Awesome.
I think if you were a neutral,
awesome.
There was no way that you'd get a better game than this.
No.
Okay? There just wasn't.
Multiple people who I talk to who do not actively watch USL, but they are massive soccer fans. They casually watch soccer. They tune in for this and they said, this is awesome. This was a fantastic match.
It was a phenomenal advert for the league.
Absolutely.
Now, of course, one of those teams is now no longer going to play anymore. But it was a phenomenal advert for the league. The fact that this is the kind of football that they can put out there, the kind of football they're able to showcase really on a Sunday night, that was ultimately the only game on at that particular time.
Oh, yeah.
If you wanted to watch football, that's what you were probably watching.
It's true.
And yeah, it was just great. It was end-to-end stuff. I don't think we're going to get another playoff game like it.
I don't think so. No.
I don't think there's another team that will throw caution to the wind in the way that both Rising and Loyal did in that game at times. The way that game was a very open game, right? There was a lot of end-to-end action in a way that I don't think we're going to see. We're definitely not going to see that out of Orange County coming up on the coming weekend. They're not going to play in that kind of a way. So, yeah, it's one of those. We'll have to wait and see what happens going forward. But if you look at the stats, do you want to talk about those?
We got some by the numbers as well to help further picture, color, and illustration.
Yeah, for those of you who can't remember it, of course, because of maybe you'd had a few to celebrate, let's say, on
yes.
Sunday by the time that things came in. But look, I think as you're looking around at the stats there, right? We've said in the past sometimes when Rising has more possession than the opponent, they don't do very well.
Well, but it's usually by a substantial number, right? We're talking like anything above 60 really is the benchmarker of a not optimal Rising performance from the attacking output. Yet, look how many shots those were. And yes, we understand that Rising play an extra 30 minutes, But the vast majority of those was inside the 90 minutes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no,
that is a phenomenal output. This team, I mean, I can't 18 shots, even if you cut out, I know, I don't have the exact number of 90 minutes, but even if you cut out, let's say a third, 12 shots, that's pretty darn good for where Rising has fared in recent matches, plus the 9 shots on target there. We like that.
Mm-hmm.
We like that a lot. Yeah, and right, you kind of back up. Thank you to Statlacky Reese, right? He provided a nice tidbit that actually is quite interesting. Darius Formella. Reese, didn't you say he had 1 whole XG just by himself? 1 whole XG's worth just by that man's self. You know, right, had the 2 goals, a couple other shots as well. But, I mean, it just goes to show there really is attacking output on this team, and it kind of came from the unlikeliest of places, right? You saw how Darius Formella played in previous matches before this. You're thinking, well, you're telling me the man is going to score twice? No way. But it's because he was in a much better position to do so, where he wasn't being crowded with Danny Trejo. That little wrinkle within the system helped a lot.
That was the kind of position that you expect him, that you want to see this guy play.
Exactly.
And I know, look, people say, look, he's a winger. Yeah, he's a winger. He is. But at the same time,
it's fluid.
He's got a lot more to him, right? And again, the problem is, it's about finding the right spacing for a guy. Yeah. Okay? Look, he missed a couple of chances that maybe he should have put away. He scored 2 goals. Yes. Okay? Look, again, it all adds up. There's a lot to this. I think that what we saw there was a team that, I mean, look, if we want to talk about, would you change anything going into the next game? Would you choose to do so?
Oh, man. I mean, if I'm looking at it right, back to front, you're obviously not. You ain't moving Rocco. You're not. I mean, to me, Crutzen came in, did a decent job, but like I'm not really. I'm still rolling with the back the 3 that are there. You talk about the midfield, right? I mean, I liked Majoma. I liked King on the outsides. I liked Jose Andres Hernandez and Carlos Harvey. We are absolutely keeping Harvey in there. Like, there's no change about that, I would see. And then you talk about, right, you have. I mean, yeah, man, you have, goodness gracious, you have Danny Trejo, you have Darius Formella, you have a little Panos in there. I love it. I mean, I wouldn't change a thing, honestly. This, to me, was the most clinical this team has looked. And it's one of those things where you can say, oh, they kind of kicked it in the gear after they went behind. How many times have we seen this team look inept after they go down? They kicked it in the gear not once, but twice after they came behind. And then in that second half, that was, I'm not going to say one way, but that was a dominant Rising half. Yep. And yet here's a fun stat like Reese pulled up. Rising had 63.7% possession in the first half. Again, that's when they're trying to grow back into the game, take control, and trying to build back to that 2-2 draw going into the halftime. Then in the second half, 40% possession, right? This team, we showed they finally got back to that kind of long lost, hey, we can attack direct. We don't have to build up and kind of have that meaningless possession. There was something to it.
Yeah, there was. I think overall, though, as you look at the game right as well, though, we should actually talk a little bit about some of the one downside to it, which is the way that they sometimes kind of, ended up dropping back a bit in the second half. I mean, some of this we've already put out, but let's have a listen actually to one kind of talking about the way they were sitting back in the second half at times and what he had to say on that.
Yeah. You saw all of this. I always say when we play at home, it's thousands of us versus 11. Tonight. It was the same thing. It's 20-something of us versus thousands of them, and there was a lot of pressure, and they would come on top of you. And I think it's human nature. You have to retrieve a bit. You have to defend well. You have to keep the spaces tight. Even though we gave them the ball, they were not having clear shots or chances on goal. Crosses in, yes. They were making us work a lot and work hard. We're okay at working hard and working a lot. But if you ask me, and we got to do it again, we have to press hard up the field. We have to make sure that we keep the ball a bit more. And listen, it's at the end of the day, when at this moment to do a balance and an analysis of everything that happened is going to be very close to impossible. But what I can tell you is to come back from behind twice, and then in the last few minutes of the game after the 90-something to give up a penalty and then go to overtime and be able to bounce back, it just speaks so highly of the group that we have, of these players. At the end of the day, we're coaches, we're standing on the sideline, we tell them what to do, but they're the ones that got to perform. So if I tell them, and I say it after games when things have not worked on the field, I mean, tonight we should all say that the players have done everything that we needed to do in order to make sure we got a result.
Yeah, I'm just going to say, by the way, before we move on here, that Max here doing his research, I'm just going to say he's no stat Mackie Reese. He's no stat Mackie Reese. Because Max actually pulling up the numbers for, things like XG and that. Max was, I don't think he could have been further away from the truth.
I could have been.
We need to illustrate this properly for you, right? Phoenix Rising had an XG of 2.27, which is higher than what was on that graphic. That's fine. I'm blaming Max again for all of this. San Diego Loyal, what did you have on that graphic for a Max? You had like 0.84 or something?
No.
They had 3.2 XG, mate. Poor Max.
No. First off, I want to blame producer Jacob on this, who was in the chat, because I was actually relayed the correct information to him, and if this is gonna fall on anyone, we're gonna be blaming on the guy who's not here to defend himself. So
that's a classic Max Simpson.
That's all producer Jacob, blame him. But yeah, anyway, what are your thoughts on Juan's interview?
No, you put the wrong numbers in here, Max.
Stop it, don't, dude.
You put the wrong numbers in here. I don't know how you were that far away, mate.
That's
impressive.
I was delirious from the
Max. There's even Michael in there. How did you get it? We're not ready for an ad read right now, but you know what we'd be leading into. But we're not ready for an ad read because we do have to talk a little bit about some other things. Let's talk about the what Pam was talking about there, and it's human nature, right? Yes, that's understandable. Okay, but again, they're going to have to be different than that against Orange County. Orange County, I think, might sit back a bit.
Yes.
Okay, there are most teams in this league are going to be willing to do a more safety first kind of approach to this, but at the end of the day, they're going to have to press a little bit higher because otherwise they're not going to get very much there. Juan alluded to it, right? You're going to have to actually be willing to try and treat the ball, as Darius at one point said as well, treat the ball with a little bit more respect. And Jacob is correct. Max got it wrong. I don't know how. But as you look at, just those kind of moments, it invites the pressure. It's hard, right?
Yeah.
That's when you're trying to hold on to a lead for half an hour like that, it's hard, right? It's just hard. I mean, there's more to it as well, though. I think, look, overall, this team did well. It was one of the best attacking performances we've seen them put in.
Absolutely.
That's in no small part down to the fact that overall San Diego was willing to play an open game in this game. And Rising really battled well. But, if we think overall to big picture, how far do you think the team can go realistically? Capable of, not will.
We're doing this now.
Capable of, yeah. Because we're going to feed into a video in a minute. How far are they capable of? Not necessarily how far will, but how far are they capable of?
I mean, if they play... The caveat is if they play like this. If this is the Rising we see of this past match against San Diego Loyal and not the one that we've seen really for the last, call it, 5 matches of the regular season, this team has the potential to go all the way, win the entire cup. They do. They absolutely do. I mean, you tell me otherwise.
No, I agree with you.
Absolutely.
I agree with you. But do other people
Thomas
agree
in the
with
chat
you?
to the
Indeed,
final.
but do other people agree? Let's have a listen to what some of the people had to say after the game.
We can win it. We showed today that coming to a hostile environment in their last home game, and we made it their last USL game. So we know we're more than capable to go on the road and win, and we showed that today, going down multiple times, going up, coming back in the 90th minute. So extra time, we have the team to do it.
Every game, step by step, but we have very good and strong group. If we are focused, if we have discipline, if we train well, nobody in this league can catch us, and we are the biggest opponent. If we're gonna be 100% ready every minute, every day, I'm telling you, it's no team in this league who can stop us.
We go to Orange County now, and that's all that's in my head. We got to focus on Orange County. We had to make sure that we recovered. If you ask me, we booked plane tickets very late tomorrow to make sure that we could have a recovery session, and we start thinking about the next game tomorrow morning, because that's where we're flying back really late to Phoenix, to be able to spend the day here, utilize the recovery places, and utilize the spaces at the hotel that allows us the opportunity to recover mentally and physically. And then we got to go again. So one game at a time. It has always been like this, and now it's not going to change.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Man, it's exciting time, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I think this team, if you had hopeful optimism, maybe mixed with a blend of like if this team's lucky, it can make a bit of a run. But I mean, again, if you're seeing performances like that, it just gives you a lot of confidence of, again, this team, especially for San Diego, right? Against the matchup, you saw that this team, San Diego likes to play open, like you mentioned, but there wasn't even like a lot of, I mean this as a compliment, as a good thing. There wasn't a lot of thought in the attack after San Diego scored those goals, because it was just boom, let's find Panos in the middle. Boom, we then transition that out wide. We're able to mix it in. We saw Darnell King get involved with that assist to Darius Vermella. Like, all parts of this offense was absolutely clicking. You even look at how those 3 goals were scored. It was awesome, man, right? Ball into Danny Trejo, draws the penalty. Panos Armanakis converts. Ball over the top to Danny Trejo from, what's that, Fuenmayor. And Danny Trejo makes the keeper. Second goal for Rising. And then third goal, Darius Vermella, Darnell King going down the sideline, cutting towards the end line, draws the entire defense, cuts it back, and Darius Vermella is absolutely by himself. And then, of course, the winner, Darius Vermella, with an absolute golazo. Listen, this team, when they're able to score all these different ways where no 2 goals are alike, that's the dangerous thing with this team. That's where they're able to threaten.
Yeah. If you want to talk a little bit, right, we spoke about Darius Vermella earlier, but let's talk about him in terms of just getting stuck in, right? This is a guy who attempted 18 duels over the course of the game. He won 11 of them. That's more than any other player on either side, right? 11. The next nearest was Mo Traore on 8, or Alejandro Guido on 8.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's, again, this is a guy who is leading the line for a lot of the game. Really getting some good shots in and getting stuck in as well. Again, I think that what we saw from Darius Vermella, in honesty, rightly or wrongly, is why Manuel Arteaga will remain on the bench next week.
Yeah, I mean,
in my mind, if he doesn't, I'll be surprised. But
completely agreed. I mean, again, I know that Juan has had a tendency to tinker, but especially at this stage, I understand you have to match up specifically with your opponent. But again, I think this gives you the best chance to win, knowing that this isn't a wholesale change. It is, yes, swapping out a guy who was 5th in the league in the Golden Boot race and putting him on the bench, which is a hard decision to make. I'm not saying it's easy, even to do it after a game like Darius Vermella had. But even if it's Orange County plays differently than San Diego, how can you look at last result and think, I'm going to change it up?
Very true.
I think that would be a misfire. Even from a tactical standpoint, I think even just from a team standpoint, just from that feel standpoint, the vibe standpoint, it'd be weird, man.
Speaking of which, one other change that came in that game, Carlos Harvey returning back into the midfield.
We like that.
Man won possession more than any other player on Rising's team. 12 times. One possession.
One possession.
One possession of the ball, 12 times.
Big body.
More than any other
It's a big body.
player on Rising's team. Fuenmayor with 9, Zambrana with 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, I look at those 2 changes and I think, good. What you wanted to see, really. What you wanted to see.
Absolutely. As he swallows a yawn, don't think you try to get away from that one. Then, yes.
I was listening to you, Max, my friend.
You're the one talking. No, I see Thomas in the chat. Let Formella cook. Absolutely. Highway, one game at a time. Gaffa. Absolutely. Right. I know this game. It's just. We talked so much. Well, I talked a lot as you were joining on the stream on Sunday, but no, and also
that club don't pay for internet.
That's powers off. No, I know we talked a lot about it, and it's almost like, I don't know. That game was so much fun, and just was such a memorable result that we've already talked so much about it. But is there anything, right, as we kind of move on to this game and some of the other things that we have to talk about? What would be where does this game live to you in terms of like, I know there's more playoffs to come, right? There's more matches to come, but where does this rank in terms of like most memorable Rising playoff matches for you? Same for the chat, by the way, please.
That's a tough one because there's a lot of playoff matches over the years. Probably the first Western Conference final probably is the top. I think this is also in a position where I don't know. It's tough, right? It's probably just above the Reno one. Both of those, of course, buried. Michael's saying it's number 1. Wow. I get that. I think it was In terms of the enjoyment of the game, I think it was one of the most exciting games we've seen, but I still don't think it quite cracks.
Okay,
OC.
Thomas, top
it's probably
three.
2 to me. I
Top
think
three,
it's.
Mikey,
Michael's saying that it's a close 2 for OC. I get that. I'd probably just flip them the other way around to what Michael's saying.
Yeah, okay.
I'd put the OC one on top just because of what it meant at that time,
Sure.
being the first one to put you through. I think this is above Reno, unlike Reese, just about, and I think Reno comes in 3.
Yeah.
So Thomas, what's 1 and 2 then? If it's not,
Yeah, that's actually. No. He. Oh, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I get like, and right, like, even if you're obviously, I was working for that club, but even like you talk about the Reno one, I guess from an, like, if I'm looking at it from an outsider's perspective, it's so different, right? 2020, that season as a whole, super wonky, and also even with Reno, I mean, yes, you killed that club, but it's not something you knew.
Reese is
San Diego,
Reese saying Reno's only above because it killed Max's club.
That's okay. That's a shot right there. No, but it's like, in all seriousness, this was such an interesting one because, like, right, that
Rising
was-
fans got kicked
it
out
was-
of both of those games, by the way.
Yes. But no, this was like the weird trepidation of like, there was so much riding on this match in the sense of you could have the opportunity, like San Diego's either going to get their first win on their postseason run in their last ever postseason, or they gone. And that was what was so much riding. You knew going into this match that there was so much on it, a little extra other than just the result itself, and that meant something.
Yeah, that's
That
true.
absolutely meant something. I see Sly in the chat. He thinks he means something as well. If we scroll up just a tidbit further, he's saying a little, what's it called? The old saying, right?
He's asking about the beers.
He
isn't
is. If Max drinks a Four Peaks beer and no one is around to see it, did he even drink that beer? I mean, yeah, you guys got to take my word on it. I'm a trustworthy guy, right?
No.
Okay, I shouldn't have
I
asked.
don't trust you,
I shouldn't
Max.
have asked. I trust me.
I've seen what you do with XG numbers.
Oh my gosh. Okay. For the record, everything else on that graphic was correct. So I'm not blaming. I'm not blaming Pressbox Live. I'm blaming them. Yeah.
Max, it was so far off.
Stop it.
mate.
It's not my fault. Everything else on that graphic was correct. Anyway, for Beaks, as you guys can see,
If it was any further off, it would be a San Diego FC badge.
as you can see, we have these delicious Rattle On Red Ales, courtesy of Four Peaks. Why are there 4 of them? That's right, baby. We're aiming for that to be. I'm not gonna say it because apparently people believe in that JINX word. But there's 4 of them representing a certain number of wins, perhaps, that Arizona Diamondbacks getting, especially if they're playing Game 7 right now. People watching outside in the More Furniture Lounge area. Boom, right over there. But hey, Four Peaks, they're drinking that. We have this in our studio, live on the show. Absolutely delicious, right? Not only, I hear a lot of clap, I can hear a lot of yeah. Rattle On Red Ale, they got that for the Diamondbacks. They have the Suns Brew for the Suns. Man, they have the Redbird Lager for the Cardinals. They got everything. They're supporting our Arizona sports teams. They support PHNX, proud partner. Check out Four Peaks at your nearest location. Of course, check them out at their 8th Street Pub. You can check them out on Instagram at Four Peaks Pub and at Four Peaks Brew. And of course, check them out at fourpeaks.com to find them at a local place near you. You must be 21 years or older to enjoy responsibly, Mr. Owain Evans. And, also, you know where you can get Four Peaks?
Many places.
Yeah, name one.
I was able to get a kilt lifter once in the hotel bar where I was staying in Albuquerque.
I appreciate that. That's
There you
very,
go.
very cool. And while you're on your way to
You know what was opposite the hotel in
yeah?
Albuquerque?
What's that?
What do you think it was,
I
Max?
don't know.
Give me a guess.
What do you think?
No,
it was?
what ad read are you about to do, Max? 'Cause
Well-
I know exactly what you're about
Well,
to
I know this could have gone 2 separate ways, and clearly, if I say one of them where Four Peaks is located, that would have been very non-correct. So I'm gonna go with Circle K.
There we go.
Hey.
There is one right next to that hotel where I often stay.
Hey, Circle K, baby. Man, I'm back-to-back Phoenix Rising, Phoenix Rising, right? They're supporting Four Peaks, and we support Circle K, man. It's all a beautiful thing because you can find Four Peaks at Circle K. And of course, you can find everything at Circle K, right? Check out their Inner Circle program. What's the Inner Circle program? Yeah, super easy. Give them, give a little phone number, put a phone number down, and you get 5 free Polar Pops. You get 5 discounted fill-ups. That's 25 cents off a gallon. Snacks, everything like that. I buy snacks for the office. I'm a man of the people. Good person. I stock the, the snack cart out there. Just a really great person. But if you want to be a great person, either for yourself or other people, check out Circle K. Download the Inner Circle program for free. Get all the delicious stuff that they have. Rumor has it, we're confirmed going to OC. And not just you, but sir, another someone handsome devil on this podcast.
Me.
Yeah.
Stat Lucky Reese.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I don't know. I'm drawing a blank.
No, yes, you do. It's me. It's me. I'm also going to Orange County.
Oh, when you said handsome, you threw me off.
Yeah, no, I will be going to Circle K when we're in Orange County, but also, let's talk about Orange County, right? All right, excuse me.
Let's have a look at the league as a whole.
I was totally wrong. That's for our Thursday show, man.
Yeah,
my brain scrambled. Too many 4 peaks. We're looking at the league as a whole.
Max's brain is scrambled.
We're
Just
looking
like
at
the XG numbers he picked up.
Stop it. We're looking at it as a whole. Let's take a look at this playoff bracket, right? You know, we kind of said this in the West. I know we kind of went over this in post-game show on Sunday.
This league is drunk.
This league is drunk.
This league is so drunk.
The West, nice and orderly. All the, there's no upsets in terms of seeding.
Sacramento. Rising was an upset.
Can you let me get there, my man? Sacramento Republic, 1 versus 8. They beat New Mexico. Not an upset. San Antonio, 4 versus 5 against Switchbacks. That's not an upset. Orange County, 2 seed versus 7 seed. They beat El Paso. And
San Diego Loyal in a box.
Oh,
yeah, we
they
kind of
are.
knew that
So
was
Rising
coming.
won. Okay, so only one of the underdogs, as they say,
and
won
even then, we need to put it in the perspective of the fact that that was a team that was only, with a couple of games to go, could have realistically caught up. Okay, USL Fantasy coming later. Devon, be quiet.
Yes.
We'll get to it.
So the West, right? Only one of the underdogs won, and yet in the East, it was actually the opposite. Only one of the higher seeds won. The East is drunk.
Oh, yeah, the East is drunk. Yeah, so
listen,
Detroit got rid of Pittsburgh. Louisville got rid of Memphis. Yep. Legion battered Tampa Bay.
Listen, this entire league has been
Charleston
drunk, but especially all season in particular, the East has been very drunk.
The Eastern Conference is a simulation.
Birmingham Legion is probably the
Eastern
culprit
Conference
of this all.
isn't real.
Birmingham Legion.
I've been to many of these stadiums. The Eastern Conference is not real.
I think in the span of
none of us believe it's real.
I think in the span of 3 months, Birmingham Legion was top of the East for a month. Then they were out of playoff contention for a month, and now they're upsetting Tampa Bay. Go figure.
Yeah.
Go figure. Let's go one more time real quick to that bracket now, especially if we're looking at the East, right? A lot of favorites in the East are now knocked out. What does that path to victory look like to you, sir?
Over in the East, I don't know. You saw the first round games. Nothing makes sense in the East.
Well, who are you picking?
Nothing makes sense in the East.
Oh my gosh.
It's fake. It's a simulation. Now, Louisville will beat Detroit.
Okay.
And I don't know who to pick between Legion and Charleston. That's a tough one for me. Charleston? Okay, he's going with Charleston. I think they're a safer bet. I have to be honest and say that I'd rather not see Charleston make the final should Rising ever get that far, because it's not easy to get to. But nice place, just not easy to get to. But yeah, I could see Charleston. I think. I mean, look, they're the highest seed that are left in the East, right? You have to be the favorite at this stage to go all the way from that side of the bracket. Louisville, of course, are a perennial contender. They're going to cause some problems. Detroit, I think, lucked out in their game against Pittsburgh more than... I've seen people still suggesting things like they were the best.
Tampa Bay isn't even rowdy.
I saw someone genuinely, I think it was the commentator from Detroit, right? And this is why it frustrates me sometimes these on broadcasts. I know I can get people wound up on this one about San Diego's broadcast. It could have been worse. Shannon McMillan could have been on it. But as you look at that broadcast, it was annoying, right? Detroit also have a relatively homer broadcast crew. But I saw one of their commentary team, I believe it was, making a comment about how Detroit were actually the team on top. They took 3 shots, 1 on target. Don't tell me that's a team on top. Don't pull that nonsense out. Do not give me that nonsense. You can say that Pittsburgh were not good. That's fine.
Oh, sure.
You can't claim on a team that gets 1 shot on target that they were on top. Pull the other one. It's nonsense. It's utter nonsense.
Would you...
They're 0.18 XG, and these are real XG numbers now, not max XG.
Whoa.
Compared to Pittsburgh's 1.1.
Oh, that's a shot.
Compared to Pittsburgh had... So, Detroit had a 4th shot, or they had a 2nd shot on target, apparently. Well done, Detroit. But Pittsburgh took 13 shots. Don't tell me that Detroit were on top. Don't talk this utter nonsense. They got the results on the day. They did what they needed to do. But don't tell me they were on top.
What would you have to say to those people who think Detroit City is on top?
No.
Okay, cool. I just want to clarify that last part real quick. Okay. Where's podcast 1A? San Diego 1D. Detroit. Yeah. As we look at this, kind of how this playoff picture as a whole, right?
Yeah.
And I don't want to go too far in the West. I know we're going to get into it a bit more on Thursday, and plus we're still not going to predict or make a score prediction or anything for Phoenix's next match against Orange County.
No predictions.
No score predictions. Nothing like that. I'm trying. Let me phrase it a different way. Do you foresee a contender out of the East giving a quite mighty challenge to whoever's going on in the West?
They could. I mean, Charleston could host against some of these teams.
Because if you're looking at it as a whole, would it be fair to say on your end that whoever, you can look at seeding or anything like that, that the style of playing, the competition in the West, probably going to beat each other up, and that the West right now, stronger teams are in it than whoever's left.
Look, if Charleston make it, though, yeah, but this is the thing, right? We can get into that. If Charleston make it, unless they're playing Sacramento, Charleston are at home.
I mean,
and what do we know? What do we know about USL teams? They don't fly privately.
True.
So you're going to have an awkward connecting route for some team coming out of the West, having to travel all the way east and go and potentially play a game away in Charleston. That's not a fun experience.
True.
Because no one, I mean, look, Sacramento, you ain't flying direct there. Orange County, you ain't flying direct there.
Nope.
San Antonio, you ain't flying direct there. Now, San Antonio might be more palatable because they're a little bit closer, of course.
It spans a flight
the teams
logistics.
that are out on I know, I've had to do enough of these, including Charleston, to start the season off. These places aren't always easy to get to. And so, look, as you look at it that way, as I see we got some subtle communication going on here in the studios. It turns out that the Arizona Diamondbacks, before they've realized in there,
don't make it sound. Tell the people what's up.
Have just managed to pull level, and it's
D-backs tied it up.
The D-backs have tied it up,
and we're a full maybe 5 seconds ahead of them.
What inning is it right now?
It
top
is
of the fifth.
top
five, and they have just traced the starting pitcher out as well now.
Oh my gosh,
Corbin Carroll, baby.
Corbin Carroll, that's what it is.
Corbin Barrels, got him. Oh boy, Mike, you Corbin fucking Carroll. There we go. Love it. Young King. Absolutely.
We love it. Also, shout out to the guy saying Golden State better than the Suns.
Wrong!
Why do people keep thinking this is a Suns podcast?
Yeah, wait. We need someone from the so we need a Sol or Espo in here to get this guy straight. This is not the PHNX Suns podcast.
Yeah, go shout at them.
You want to go shout at them? That's absolutely fine.
If you want to go have your wrong opinions, go shout at them.
You're entitled to your opinion. That's fine, but I don't think it's gonna. It's the wrong show for it.
Yeah, it's the wrong show.
But
anyway,
maybe he's a contingent of OC. Kind of a connection doesn't really make sense. But hey, I don't know.
It's wrong part of
Sacramento,
California.
maybe closer. I'm no maps major person, but yeah. Maybe.
Maps major person.
Geography.
Anyway. Yeah, that's the word. I forgot the word for geography. That's it.
There's geography.
Wow, that's a good one.
Topography?
Cartography, yeah.
What's topography? Is that a word?
Topography is like mountains and
okay, I'm kind of on the right track.
No, you're not.
Okay, anyway, back me up on this. Anything else?
Max, you're as far away as your XG numbers, mate.
Okay. I want to chime in on the XG numbers.
Yeah.
We had a chance to check them multiple
times. We did. But we were too busy constructing something else in the backdrop that you may or may not see.
And multiple people in the studio. I'm not going to name names because I love everybody here. But it's like, they're fine. Like, if they're wrong, they're wrong. And now here we are.
Max, I'm just saying, you gave a number of 0.8 something instead of 3.2.
Well. Looky who we have here.
I know.
Come on.
How dare I trust Max Simpson's judgment? I've been put in my place. We can't do that.
No. Don't highlight that comment. We can just put that.
No, shout out as well to Sam in the chat saying Maps guy. I mean, a nice dig at you there, Max.
Yeah. Wonder who that could be. Could be anyone.
Who that could be. Could be anyone. Anyone is all.
Anyone.
Yeah.
Thanks, Samantha. Is it? That's cool. Bayer. Real pain in my ass. That's why you take Bayer. Anyway,
any chance we host a home game before the tournament ends is what Fat Kid says. Only in one of two circumstances. They're both in the final, and that will mean the final is against Birmingham Legion or Detroit City. In that case, Phoenix Rising would host. In any other case, Phoenix Rising is away from home.
This is fair.
Every other possible matchup from here to the end of the season.
This is fair. Mikey,
Okay.
Mikey, we're absolutely not bringing in Derek. There's no way in hell he would do that. That man.
Only if they won, I think, in the
Yeah,
middle of
and
this.
we're
If they
in the
won
fifth.
in the middle of this, which is not going to happen, we'll be
Oh, no,
finished by
we're
the time
gonna.
you-
Okay, we're not. This is now a 3-hour podcast. We're just gonna draw.
No, we're not. We don't have
this
enough to talk about, Max. You don't have enough fake XG numbers to pull up, my friend.
Nice and methodical. Anyway,
Mate, you're going through these at the speed of your ad reads. Let's go move on.
Damn. No, I was gonna ask if there's anything else you'd like to talk about. On
No, I think we can get into these a little bit better on Thursday.
Yeah, agreed.
I think
Fourth ref. That's tough to say. Fourth ref is holding up 3 hours.
Yes. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the 3. It's not minutes. It's hours. It's hours there. That's a.
we're not doing
I
3
like it.
hour
We're not doing
podcast.
that. Well, if you did want to slow down, might I recommend our friends at OG.
That's what Max takes for reading
She was
XG
on.
numbers.
Brittany O'Neill was on that. She knew that was coming a mile away. My word. Let's go. Ready with the lower third graphic. Shout out OG's brands. They're amazing, right? They got the indicas, especially if you are trying to slow down, or sativas if you are looking to keep up with this game. Like
Or if you're
Owain
not
is
looking
on
to
this
slow
laptop.
down, much like Corbin Carroll's not looking to slow down.
Got him. Oh, D-Bags winning. Let's go.
As D-Bags take the lead.
D-Bags take the lead. Let's go. I have no idea if they. Yeah. They're looking in here and they have no idea that we know what they
Corbin
don't
Carroll's
know.
not slowing down. Oh.
Yeah. Wait, we're watching the reaction.
We're just watching the reaction out there.
Someone
This
out there is
incredible.
definitely on OGs. Yeah, we're getting a fist bump, everything like that. They're finally getting it out here. But shout out OGs brands. They're fantastic stuff, right? They got the mixed fruits, the mixed creams. Yes, Mikey, 3-2, baby. Absolutely. That's what we were saying after Rising's goal. I know things happen, but hey,
I
things
don't
happen
think
in
they've.
the
I don't think they've even reached this point. I think they've reached the point where Corbin stole second.
Dear
I
gosh.
don't think they've reached the point where he scores yet.
Oh my gosh.
Out there,
I don't know. Anyway,
Mike, people are out there watching
Yep.
this on a lag right now.
Mikey's like Gabby.
The problem is Gabby got thrown out trying to draw the throw.
So it ends the inning. Yeah.
And this
so
is
it's
incredibly-
an out. So
Yeah.
it seems like a weird reaction.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see how it
Speaking
goes.
of weird reactions, it's gonna be really weird for anyone who is listening on audio and being like, "What am I? Am I listening to a warped file of the PHNX Rising podcast, the PHNX Diamondbacks?"
It's an
podcast?"
ad read.
It
We're
is.
not talking about.
Oh gosh, we're
talking
still in
about
OGs
football.
read. Well, if you take OGs, you might be lost in the middle of an ad read, just like I am. But it always gets us back there with our friends at OG's Brands. Check them out on all socials at OG's Brands. You can also check them out online at ogsbrands.com to find them at a local dispensary near you. Also, of course, want to shout out our friends at Valley Tap Room. There's a rumor, right? A lot of people. We're at Valley Tap Room. That's not a rumor, right? 20. I hear 20 strong. 20 strong. And I did offer people, right, to Venmo me at ASU Max, pick up a little beer tab. They're drinking Four Peaks there and all that stuff. Offer still stands retroactively. I will be closing it at the end of the night, but you can do it if you want to. But shout out Valley Tap Room, right? Hosted a fun watch party on Sunday. Shout out my man Donald. He was taking care of the people there. Even stayed, made it happen. It was a good time. And yeah, man, Valley Tap Room, it's awesome. It's a place to be. For those of them on the east side, always great. You can check them out in person on the 202 and Gilbert. And more information to come. But for those of you who are not making the trip to Orange County on Saturday, Valley Tap Room is indeed hosting this PHNX Rising Watch Party again. Now, listen, I'm going to get ahead of it. I will not be there because I will be in OC. But
Oh wait, really? You're gonna be there?
I told you.
I
But
thought you'd be here, man.
but if you will be going to Valley Tap Room, let me know. I will be prepaying for some beers beforehand.
there we go. Max will be buying beers.
There you go.
Okay, right.
That's it.
That's it.
Let's go. Well, it's not for the show, but that's it for the.
Yeah, right. Let's talk about the Fantasy USL. We can talk about week 1. How did week 1 go?
Winner, chicken dinner, baby.
I'm going to give a shout out to our top 5
Okay.
before we start from last week. And then I'll also mention a couple of other notable people in here. But shout out to our winner from last week, Luke Berry.
Can we do top 8?
52
Do
points.
top
No, I'm going to
top
do the top 5 and then I'll do some notable extras, namely you. I finished in second, 1 point behind, 51.
Rigged.
Shout out to Banditos. Bluebird in third with 48. Travis Ricketts in fourth with 47. And Devon Blackwell in fifth with 45. As we look at some other notables here, we had John Morrissey from USL Tactics ended up in, seventh with 34. I give a shout out to Max, who finished quite a way down with 29.
I was top 10.
Shout out to...
I was literally top 10. That's very
Reese,
impressive.
who got 26. Well done, boys. Well done. Now try and actually...
Reese was garbage. The man is a stat lackey.
Reese had about half the points that I got.
Yeah.
But shout out the top players, of course. If you wanted to do well, you needed to realistically pick one of these two guys. Ronaldo Damas, of course, 14 points. Arturo Rodriguez, 14 points. The two guys who really, really stepped it up there. Of course, a few other people, of course. Panos on the 6 did well. Danny was 6. You know, some other guys who did well. Well, Emilio Caza with 7. You've got some other people here. Of course, you had Preston, who went over to Birmingham Legion, getting 9. Markinich, 9. Formella gets 10. Darius Formella
Reese had like
gets
6
a 10
points
in
going
there.
into the last day.
Reese did not do well going into the last day.
I honestly have to reevaluate him as a
Fidel
stat lackey as
Barajas
a
with
whole.
11.
Yeah, I keep typing over there.
Some
lackey.
good scores for some of those. But you know what, Max? Here's the thing to note. We do have...
We pick again.
We pick again.
We pick again.
We've repriced. Those of you who took part last week, you'll get an email
Wait,
shortly.
I want my guy at a discount.
Those of you who... What?
I want my same guy as last week on a discount.
No, you don't get that.
I want the same price.
No, it doesn't happen.
I put it on. No, what?
You don't get to change the prices,
sucks.
Max.
What the heck, man?
I tell you what the prices are, and you abide by those prices.
Gosh. All right.
All right? Everyone's been repriced in the correct way based on their stats from the last week, based on the way that this is going with people dropping out. You've got an opportunity to get 3 players now from each team. Cool. Still 7 per conference, 3 per team max, which allows you to, of course, find ways then to rebuild your squads. And I've got a new squad ready to go. Max, do you have a new squad ready to go?
Yeah. Did you ever even like put out what the scoring system is?
It's the same as the Fantasy Premier League without bonus
but what do people
points.
don't know that?
I've said it.
Oh my god.
I did say it last time.
This guy sucks. Yeah. Anyway, yes, I have my team. Would you like to go first?
Would I like to go first? I will give you my formation, and then you give me your formation. We'll just alternate, kind of like that, like we did, yeah?
I do like that.
Okay, so 4-3-3 is the formation I'm going with. Max, what formation are you going with?
3-4-3.
He's doing the one like I did last week, but
that's not. Don't note that. I also did 3-4-3 last week.
No, I thought you did a 4-3-3 last week.
No.
Okay, you may have done a 3-4-3.
No, don't look at the clip. Yeah.
Hey, man. No, I don't need to look at the clip because I've got it here. You had 1 there. You had 4 at the back. Yeah, you had 4 at the back, Max. You played a 4-3-3.
Anyway, go on.
All right, so my goalkeeper. You know what? I'm keeping it close. I'm keeping it close to home. With 10 here. Rocco Rios Novo. It's a sizable chunk initially on a goalkeeper to spend, but you have to, right? You have to pick a guy who's going to start.
Even if it...
different game, different opponent.
Oh, stop.
Different game, different opponent.
Is this fair? Okay, that's fair.
I don't see Orange County scoring that many goals.
Okay. All right, well...
I'm going to take Rocco.
Okay, that's totally fair. It's not me dissing Rocco. It's okay, that's fair. If I am going to be taking keeper, and I'm looking at a team who's not going to be scoring
You're going to pick one who's going to play this week? You took Jordan Farr last week, didn't you?
I'm going to be honest. I still don't think that was a bad decision.
It was an awful decision. He's not playing, mate.
It maybe wasn't a good decision. I will not be taking him again. I thought he'd come around for playoffs. What do you want from me? Anyway, I will be picking a player who is expecting to face a team that doesn't have a lot of scoring threat. I'm going with keeper from Louisville City, Oliver Semler.
You were thinking about how to say that, weren't you?
I was.
There we go.
Well
done, mate. Well done. Okay, so there we go.
Try.
I'm going my back 4. What I'm playing, right? I'm going to pick up my most expensive defender that I've got there. I'm going with Sean Toach from Lou City. I think this is a guy who can sometimes get on the score sheet. I think Lou City are a team that are realistically not going to necessarily concede too many goals. He costs 12.
Cool.
I've got Sacramento Republic. If you got the up-to-date one there?
Of course.
Okay, you're not basing this. You are basing this off of the new numbers.
Of course.
He doesn't sound convinced.
Yes, I am.
Good. Jared Timmer, I'm going to go for from Sacramento Republic.
Okay.
Again, I don't see San Antonio necessarily scoring that many goals, which is why I'm trying to pick guys who I think are maybe realistic here in terms of that. I'm going to take Connor Maloney, though, from San Antonio. I don't see that San Antonio game being a high scorer. Connor Maloney at a 7.5, I think, is a reasonably priced player. And then, you know what I'm going to go? I'm going to go for a Phoenix Rising boy. This guy's cheap, okay? This guy's cheap, which is why I'm picking him, because I think he'll start. Mo Traore. 4.5. 4.5. That's a good deal for someone who might start.
Even after a man who allowed a penalty? What's the penalty?
But I'm going for Mo Traore.
Listen, I think it's good bang for your buck. It's just, hey, recency bias, that's what drives the price down.
No,
Okay,
it does,
that
it
might
does,
be a
it
gem.
does.
Might
But also
be a
because he
gem.
hasn't played for spells in the
Well,
season.
and all-
He's not played as much.
True,
or-
and also this man, he doesn't have 2 back-to-back. I don't even think it was a poor performance. I just think that was a bad error. But I don't think he has 2 games of back-to-back errors. That's actually a fair pickup.
Yeah, and again, it's one of those ones where sometimes you're looking for someone cheaper, and you're going to pick 4.5, right? That's what I'm going to go with.
Okay. Okay, it's very fair, very fair. Defenders, I will go also with Jared Timmer. That is my most expensive defender for Sacramento. We're like 11 there. I'm then going to go to Charleston, Sebastian Palma at 7.5. And then I will go to the defending champs, San Antonio, Shannon Gomez at 7. Right, guy's been playing consistently, who had a solid game last time out. I like him there. That's a solid defense. Didn't cost too much. It's definitely in the upper echelon, yes, but nothing breaking the bank.
Okay. Right. So we move.
We move to
We
your midfield,
move to the midfield. I've got 3 midfielders here, right? I've gone heavy Charleston in the midfield. Oddly enough, I'm gonna take my guy Arturo. I'm sticking by him. He's shot up in price because he had a very good performance.
Okay.
Again, he was one of the 2 top scorers in last week's game.
Okay.
He's gone up to 11, but I'm
Yeah.
sticking by my boy Arturo. I'm sticking by Arturo Rodriguez here. I'm going to pick another guy from Charleston who I think also had a decent game, scored quite well last week. I think can do some damage. 7.5, he cost me Emilio Acaza.
Yeah.
Okay. And then to round out the midfield, I'm going to pick a guy from Sacramento, and he's 6.5. I think he's decent value for that, for a guy who can chip in, for a guy who can contribute. I'm going to go with Roro Lopez.
Okay, I like that. Well, Owen, it looks like you copied me because I also have Arturo Rodriguez from Charleston Battery. I also have his teammate Emilio Caza from Charleston Battery at 11 and 7.5 respectively. So first off, Owen, stop cheating. But my third player, Matthew Cochran from Birmingham Legion. A little bit of right? I remember his performance against Rising. Decently consistent. We'll make it happen. 6.5.
But you have another midfielder in there as well?
Oh yeah, what's I do? And it made it sound like I was almost done talking. You missed the inflection. I clearly wasn't done. And of course, I have Niall McCabe from Lou City, 4.5. I like that value too at 4.5.
Okay. Yeah, I can see the rationale behind that. Again, he's a player who could have a contribution in there. He's come quite cheap. I think that's always a bonus when you have a player like that.
Sounds like me winning.
At the same time, I will say that obviously he came off the bench in the last game.
Don't matter.
Which is a consideration here.
Don't matter.
All right, we move up to the top. You give me your forwards first because I've done everything else first. You go first on forwards.
Well, notice that I haven't picked any Phoenix Rising players, and it's almost like I used all 3 of mine on exclusively Rising players. That's exactly what I did. Danny Trejo. Pretty penny, my most expensive player at 14.5. There's Fremella, 10.5. And of course, to round out Phoenix Rising, Erickson guy. No, totally kidding. Panos Armanakis. No shade there, Erickson. Just a little joke. But hey, Panos Armanakis rounding out my trio of forward attackers. Listen, here's the thing.
To me, that's a gamble.
No.
I don't see Rising scoring that many goals.
I don't disagree. Here's my thing. This is where you like to call hedging, is what we say in the business. Do I expect each of those guys to get a goal again, just like they did in San Diego? No, probably not. But I do expect that one of those guys is going to contribute, that even if 2 of those guys contribute, that's fantastic. This clearly, right? Rising's offense, if it's any indication like it was against San Diego, it's going to flow through these guys.
So
and one of those guys
on maybe one of them getting a goal, one of them getting an assist, and at least between the 3 of them, then you've got some...
Because here's the thing. If you go one off against all these other players, right? Like another forward, that's fine. It could be a crapshoot. You don't know unless you're getting Ronaldo Damas, which he's not in here anymore. You don't know if like a player's going to get you 3 goals. So if you kind of do it by committee, we're okay with that.
Okay, that's what you want to go with.
I do.
That's what you want to go with. Okay, Max.
Sounds like I'm winning the league.
He's winning the league, apparently.
Reese, pipe down, dude. You lost.
Max has decided that he is apparently winning. What do people think? Is Max winning or is Max not winning?
I'll put money on it.
Max will put money on it, he says. I don't know if that's a wise idea. You don't win many bets.
I win all my bets.
I'm going to go with Russell Cicerone.
I mean, that's fair.
I like that. 13 from Sac Republic. I'm going to take Panos still. 9 out of Phoenix Rising. I think Panos Amanakis, again, a guy who we know can contribute, a guy who can step up in the zone.
Smart, copying me again. No.
I'm going to take Cameron Lancaster as my final player, Loose City at 8.
Very
Cameron Lancaster, who scored in that game.
Very Game of Thrones of you.
I think Cameron Lancaster, a guy who's always showing up in these playoffs. We've seen him do it time and time again for Loose City. I think this is someone who, at that price point, I like.
Yeah.
I like. Okay, so that's, again, my team. I got Rocco Rios Novo, John Toch, Jared Timmer, Connor Maloney, and Mo Traore. Then in midfield, I got Arturo Rodriguez, Emilio Acaza, Roro Lopez. And then up top, I'm playing Russell Cicerone, Panos Amanakis, and Cameron Lancaster.
That's very nice.
Max, read us through one more time. Yours there, please.
Oh, yes, of course. All right, goalkeeper from Lou City, Oliver Semle. Defender, Jared. We have 3 in the back. Jared Timmer, Sebastian from Sac Republic. Sebastian Palma for Charleston Battery. And Shannon Gomez from San Antonio. Midfield, we got 4. We got Arturo Rodriguez from Charleston Battery. We have Emilio Caza from Charleston Battery as well. We have Matthew Corcoran from Birmingham Legion. And we have Niall McCabe from Lou City. And then forwards, it's Dale Phoenix Boys. All 3 of them, Danny Trejo, Darius Formella, and Panos Armanakis.
I will say here now, Michael's saying he probably got less. Michael, you got 33. So you actually beat both Max and Reese. Well done. Well done, Michael.
Cool, man. You beat a guy who clearly isn't good with numbers.
Indeed.
That
That was partly because you picked Jared Timmer, who did well, Mitch Tainter, who did well. Who else did you have in there that had all right? I mean, Carlos Harvey got reasonable. Scoring Milanowski scored a goal, of course, in there. Those things help boost you a little bit.
Oh, and how many people do you have from the East and how many from the West?
How many do I have? What's my balance? That's a great question. My balance here is I hit the max 7 from the West.
Oh, interesting. I did 6 from the East, 5 from the West.
Okay, he was much more balanced. I was very balanced last time, but this one I'm not. I picked no one from Legion or Detroit. I don't know if this does. I also picked no one from Orange County, rightly or wrongly.
I was very tempted to, for a second, put ALLCITY, but I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not doing that.
That feels like it's tempting fate.
It is.
Milan ALLCITY's a good shout. Right, I will, again, if you entered last week, you'll get an email about this in the near future with the update to put in. If you did not enter, we will also tweet about it, so you can still join in the fun, again, because we pick teams week by week. Yes, there's an overall idea of who is the best over the entirety of the playoffs, but we also, of course, have weekly champions, so it's always a bit of fun. Make sure to join in. We love it. It's great. And we love it even more when Max doesn't win.
Anyway, that's just actually...
I'm disappointed. I haven't seen any comments about something.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, we haven't seen it either. Well, when you see it, you see it.
When you see it, you see it. Keep looking, guys.
When you see it, you see it. I do want to shout out, again, diehards in the chat, diehards who will be making the trip out to Orange County, diehards. We're at Valley Tap Room, everything like that. We appreciate you guys, honestly, right? It's always really fun. Like, the Discord on Sunday was absolutely popping. People were going nuts. The Discord was drunk. It was awesome. Just really, really fun. Shout out everyone who is a diehard. If you want to become a diehard yourself, get some sweet, sweet merch. As you see on the screen, you have the Phoenix Rising shirt back in stock. The scarf is in there. It's a summer scarf, folks. So it's nice. But also, hey, Arizona, right? Get a little chilly. Still holds up for that too. So again, and
maybe be getting hot like the D-backs
I say chilly as in like it's cold here. It's not, but you know what I mean. Get the scarf. It's great year round. Absolutely. And you can get nice merch like we have, right? Supporting the D-backs. Let me move this tie, right? We're bleeping dangerous. PHNX Locker exclusive. You got the nice snake right there. It's a good time.
I will say probably the coldest I've ever been has been at a Rising playoff game.
That's fair. Well, the boys looking to heat up now. Hey-o. But also, I do want to shout out, right? Owain had a nice piece at gophnx.com as well. You can read that all the good time. Would you like to?
Or putting the box in context. No, actually describing what it was like there. It was it was an interesting atmosphere. It was different, right? It wasn't what you'd expect necessarily from an average playoff game. It was more tense than that. And I think even after the game, there was a degree of reflection, right, from San Diego's side. It was just strange. And yeah, I think to be there and witness the death of a club, and unlike Reno, right, Reno, we didn't know they were going to die after that point.
You don't have to say it like that, but yeah.
But they did die.
Okay, they
They in a box. Reno's in a
I
box.
mean, they passed away.
Reno is in a box.
I don't work for it anymore. But yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So look, Reno's in a box, but San Diego's in a box now as well. Look, it was an interesting experience, I think, to be there and to witness that in person, and I did put some words on that.
Okay.
That despite all of the in a box kind of comments that we've had on here, did not take that tone whatsoever.
No,
so
no, very
if you want something
respectful.
that's more
You have to go to the
serious.
Discord. You got to go to the Discord if you want the juicy box related content.
Mhm.
There was something quite good in there, but
Yeah.
yes. Talked a lot here as well. Anything else?
Nah, that's about it.
Okay, well, appreciate everyone.
Appreciate
joining.
everyone watching and joining us here. Yeah.
That was really weird what you did there. I thought you were going to say something. Anyway, appreciate everyone watching and joining us here.
Makes more sense if you're looking at the screen.
Everyone commenting in the chat. Of course, you can check us out at PHNX__Rask is _.
Double the fun.
The fun. You can follow me on Twitter at Max David Simpson. You can follow Owen on Twitter at OJEvans18. You can follow Stat Like Your Reese at Reese11 _ just the one _. You know the story. The guy messed up just like he did in fantasy this past week. And of course, you can follow producer Danielle at Abracadanielle. Wait, oh no.
No, that's right.
Okay,
I said it a little bit weird,
I
but it was
always
right.
think that I miss it halfway through.
I
but
feel
know
like
it.
of any show, this is the one that's gonna get the reference. I feel like this show's odd. Like there's an Adventure Time and football crossover here. I think if there's, like I said, I think if there's a show, we're gonna get it here.
Absolutely. 100%. Oh my gosh, it is Taco Tuesday. Love that.
Taco Tuesday.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, appreciate everyone joining us again. We'll be back on Thursday. Deeper dive of Orange County and everything like that. But it's a beautiful game. It's more beautiful when you beat a certain team, and yeah, there you go.
How have people not noticed this has been sitting back here this entire time?
Oh, the audio.
We got a gravestone with San Diego Loyal written on it.
Well, spoiler for the audio listeners. Okay, good night.
We all silly like the mayor.